we are headed to the hospital. Something that we do every single day now for 6 weeks. This is week 6. I'm going to the hospital every day. The only day we missed was when the hurricane hit. Hurricane Elsa. It's unusual to have the boys with us, but we decided to ask the boys to come along today. They are not allowed to go inside. They'll sit in the waiting room. Yeah. Surprise! We're back!
Yeah.
We were supposed to be here again.
Well, we were planning to make any more of these videos. We had 10 videos for 10 years of marriage, and that was it. And right at the release of the last one, we had quite a surprise.
We did.
Yeah, and we've been on a very interesting journey for the past two or
2.5 months.
Yeah, we wanted to share a bit of that experience with the people who have been so supportive of us, so invested in our lives and our family for all of these years. I know that this is an experience that would have been new and strange to as many people as it was to us. So I thought it'd be nice for at least for us to be able to share a bit of our perspective on what went down.
Yeah, so it does feel like a thank you video. Like, guys, you guys have helped us through a really tough patch, but also to let you know like what that patch was like. But yeah, it's just been so much support more than anything else.
Yeah, Sophia was born, our daughter was born on June 23rd. She was only 7 months old, 28 weeks at that point. So severely premature, and there was a lot that had to be done to care for her and make sure that she survived outside of the womb, having come out so early. So that's been our journey and her journey really for the past almost 2 months now, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she's born, but she's not been home with us. We've been having to go to the hospital to see her every day.
Yeah. So her journey has been interesting. It's been interesting to try to explain how it works, because now like I feel like we're veterans now. Like we understand the process, but you know, like when you're just starting, you have no clue. Like the very first time I went to the NICU, I don't know where to go. I don't know if her skin is too delicate for me to touch. I don't know how to open the incubator to touch her. You're just clueless and you're scared and you're tired. And at that point, of course, I was in pain, like making myself stand up and walking. All of that was very difficult, and I'm like doing all of that with that mental load of, am I harming her by opening this incubator like she can get the fresh air? Like, I don't know anything. Right.
Yeah, and then I mean for me too, it was like you got 2 hours. It's the only time you have with her. But then when you're going to stand up in front of the incubator and you see this little tiny baby, it's like, what are you supposed to do for these 2 hours? Like, just stand up and stare?
Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, I guess in your mind you have this sentimental thing of, oh, I want to get to us to be my baby. But yeah, sometimes, and especially when she's having a very, very bad day, and you look at her and you can tell she's sick,
and there's nothing you can
and you can't hold her, and you're like, well, maybe I shouldn't, you know, touch her today, make her rest. And you just stand there for the hour.
Right.
But and then the thing is, we can't go in at the same time, so we take turns. But you just stand there for the hour. Sometimes I sing and I don't know if she can hear me go through the incubator and the beeping and the nurse is talking and the other babies doing all the other things, but sing to her, pray for her, tell her about her brothers and the family members and the friends that send her greetings, and you know, sing and sing and sing every song I know. Right, and then send daddy in for his turn or whatever. I think at the beginning, I don't think I could feel or think in that sense of, oh, how am I doing? It was like a soldier that just has a job to do and you just do it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how you feel. As I had mentioned, I'm physically not able to stand up.
Right.
But when I get down there, nobody can know that because I need to just
stand up and be with your
stand
baby.
up, and then when I go back outside, it's like, oh goodness, why did I do that? But you know.
Yeah.
And even people ask about, you know, that kind of sentiment. Oh, how do you feel when you see it? Kind of it doesn't even carry over to the next day. It's just I have to go down there. I have to do this, and that's that. And then I get back up to my hospital room or get back home and just survive until I get to go up again. So there wasn't a holding on to any kind of, oh, I miss my baby, or it was not like that. It was just do what you have to do.
Yeah, I a lot of times the drive to the hospital was kind of like that mental preparation thing for me. Just thinking through, you know, this could be a good day, this could not be a good day.
Yeah.
You know, are you ready for how you're going to respond to that, how Aleeca's going to respond to that? I know you're going to respond to how everybody else is dealing with the whole thing. I would say that I really did feel a sense of the burden of making sure that we, you know, did not go crazy in the midst of all of this stuff. It's probably how I would put it.
Yeah, I think you carried a lot of that.
So it was a lot of time praying, a lot of time just being quiet, giving things time. You know, like you experience something and rather than react instantly to it, just kind of like, all right, hold on to that. Just like you saying, soldier through whatever you're dealing with now, and then afterwards, when you can sit down by yourself and breathe, then you kind of, you know, deal with all of the pain, all the trauma, all of the fear, all those other things.
It was very special when we were allowed to hold her.
Oh, yeah.
It took a while before she was stable enough for them to take her out. I think it was how many? I think it was 4 weeks before you even got
3
weeks before you got to touch her, but hold her.
Exactly 3 weeks.
Right. So, and then when
that wasn't even Kangaroo Hold,
that was just in your hand.
Yeah.
And then they started to let us do Kangaroo Hold, which is putting her inside your chest,
skin to skin contact.
But the funny thing about Kangaroo Hold, it looks sweet and it's so I don't know what you call it now. Anyhow, it's a really sweet thing to do for your child. The issue is you can't see your so Kangaroo Hold is good for the child. Right. They are on your skin. They are they're getting good, staying warm.
Right.
When your body temperature, they're hearing your heartbeat. I think it really helps to regularize them. And I don't know the medicine of it. I think there's a bit of it that isn't really a medicine of it. That the children just do so much better in Kangaroo Hold. But people will ask me, okay, what is it like when you have her and you're holding her? And it's like, actually, when she's down there, I can't see her.
Yeah.
I can't look at her face to see if she's okay. I can't see her features. So when you hold her in your arm, at least you can see what her eyes are like, or if she moves her mouth or something. But Kangaroo Hold, I can feel her breathing. Right. But I can't actually see her.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would go and look at her first in the incubator and touch her and see her moving around and then put her in. Just so that I can kind of have that interaction that I can see versus that.
Yeah, I feel like I had to resolve that Kangaroo Hold is for her. Like it's not really saying for me.
Yeah.
It's like this is just for her benefit. Like how they give her medicine or whatever else, they need the parents to come and hold her in this particular way. So what's it like holding her now compared to holding her in the NICU?
She's bigger. she's what, twice the size, I guess.
Yeah.
She was 2 pounds when she was born.
Crazy.
And now she's 4 pounds.
Good mouse.
Thanks. But you know, the thing is, even though she was so small, after a while it just became, this is my baby. You go in and you go, oh my goodness, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
All of her is there. It didn't feel like a smaller baby. It was just, that's my baby. And she didn't feel too small to hold. You know, you just got used to, this is just what it, and then you also see how the nurses handle the babies.
Right.
And they just do their stuff, and you just realize, I wasn't scared.
I think that very, very quickly, I can't say when exactly, but very quickly I saw a person. And,
yes, very
and it's, you know, like how people say you can't unsee it. Like from there, it was, I'm looking at Sophia every time I see her, and it's crazy now to look back at pictures and be like, whoa, she was really small and frail. But when we go in to the unit and we stand by the incubator, when I put my hand by her and my hand covers 3/4 of her body, I don't think about any of that. I just think about my daughter in there, and I guess it's the same thing, you know, like she'll always be the person that I've been seeing from the day she was born.
Yeah. I think I realized how serious the situation was when the surgeon didn't want to wait till the morning shift. So we got to the hospital midnight-ish, and we were there a few hours. But there were going to be more staff to do the surgery, and she's like, no, we can't wait, because if we do, this baby will die. So it was like, wow, right now. And then the pediatrician came to talk to us before the surgery as well, and she was like, just to be clear, this child has a 50% chance of survival. So they laid it out, they made it clear it was pretty serious. We didn't have a chance to process at that time because we just had to rush into surgery. After seeing her though, and like the subsequent days after that, and that early time, I think her size wasn't the issue to me. She was all there, but you could tell, okay, so from the day she was born, and then she kind of progressively got worse. So she had to have 2 blood transfusions in a short space of time. And again, the days leading up to that, you could look at her and tell she's getting sicker. I remember a day I went in there, because usually my hands are cold after you wash your hands to come inside. So I'd put my hand in the incubator and touch her foot, and she would always pull it back. And I'd be like, yeah, that's mommy's touch right there. She'd get used to, mommy always comes in with these cold hands. And then one of those days I went in and touched her foot, and she didn't move. And it was like, oh, okay. All right. You know, there were days like that when it got really serious, and the doctor would say things. They're really good. They're really good doctors. They would say things like, you know, we really want her to take this corner. They wouldn't say it in a morbid way, but it would be clear. We need her to take this corner, because that's the only option there is, kind of thing. And there were more bad days than good days in that early time, to let's say the first month, where she'd make progress. Maybe she'll come off the CPAP, the breathing assistance, and we'd all be like, ooh, this is so good. And then you go back the next day and she's on it, and she's on it for a longer period of time than she was off it, and you're like, okay. So it was a lot of that, of seeing something happen, and you think this is progress, but this is not actually progress. It's just, you know, up and downs. I think later on, maybe after 6 weeks, then it would feel like progress. If she did something, then you thought, okay, the next day it would be better. But early on, you couldn't kind of. I think I didn't realize how bad it was for me until the day after the surgery, when the doctors were like, okay, you need a blood transfusion. And I felt fine at that point. But when they started to do the transfusion, I think, I don't know if that's when it just kicked in, like my physical body, it was just like, whoa, what is going on? And I felt so bad, and I thought, oh, I might not survive the night. You know, I was just thinking about her, and okay, this, take the baby out, but I didn't realize how bad it was until that point. And I thought, okay, what does this mean for Mario and, well, 2 or 3 children, because at that time it was, I don't know if she's going to survive. How is he going to do that? So that was my biggest concern. What's going to happen to Mario? God is good.
Yes, He is.
And I'm here.
It took time. It took time to learn. I guess how to control your emotions in that whole experience. Because like Aleeca was saying just now, like startup, the first couple of days are so terrifying. At least for me, terrifying, because everything was bad, and to me it just was like there's no evidence that any of the two of them were gonna survive. That's why I felt the Wednesday night when they wheeled her into the operation table, it was like, yeah, that could have been it. When I waved goodbye to her, like that could have been it. And then like all of the machines and the different wires and stuff connected to Sophia, and she's so small and weak, I think, and it's like this little tiny baby could be breathing right now, and then she could just stop, and and that could be it. And it would be like, well, yeah, we've been trying our best, but this was one of the outcomes, possible outcomes.
I think that was very real to me when the nurses would say, okay, she came off the oxygen, for example, and then the next day they had to put her on, and they said, oh, she had a period where she stopped breathing, and you think, suppose the nurses didn't catch that period. Suppose, you know, there was another emergency and they couldn't. I mean, how long does it take for you to stop breathing and then that's it? So, I mean, those nurses are amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
To think that they are literally saving lives by the hour. By the hour, they're just on top of things.
Yeah. What became an interesting thing to navigate through was good days. Just because, like Aleeca was saying, sometimes you will have a good day, and then the very next day is like regression of all those things. And so after a while, it's kind of like you don't want to set yourself up for that disappointment and that confusion inside. But you do want, like, you're praying every day for things to get better. So when something gets better, you don't want to be like, I don't know what to do with that. Like, you want to give thanks. You want to be happy about things when they go well, but you kind of got to temper that with,
because you know it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is fine.
Right.
Like,
so
she had a good day.
You take the good thing as a good thing, and just see it as a good thing in the midst of all the rest of stuff that's happening. And that became like a muscle that I had to learn how to flex in terms of, like, you know, finding joy in the midst of all of the mess. And it's funny because, like, later on, when we were kind of on the latter days of Sophia's time in the hospital, and almost everything is good, she's feeding well and that kind of thing, and it's just like maybe one thing that they're still monitoring, and I started to feel the same level of anxiety
as in
that
the
I
early
remember
days.
feeling at the beginning. Is like, why isn't she perfect yet? Like, why isn't she good to go? You know, and it's crazy that you wake up every day hoping, you know, is this the day that they tell us, you know, she's good to go? And if not, you start to think, well, like, is she going to be in the hospital forever now? Even though she's so far from where she was when she started, it still kind of plays in your mind.
Another week, another month. What does this mean?
So those, I mean, that, I think it was a lot of just learning to wait and to watch, to trust God, to I mean, really appreciate what the medical team does. And then just, I would say see God work in her life.
Boys, what has it been like for you guys with Sophia? I know that you haven't gotten to meet her. I know that we show you pictures and talk about her every day, and we have to leave you every day. So I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that. she doesn't feel bad.
I mean, like sick.
You mean like when she comes home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good thing to think about. That's true. Do you like when we tell you how she's doing every day?
Yeah. As you said, it's getting happier.
Yeah? You can tell the difference?
He feels it too, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that is something that like you gotta remind yourself of, that it's not just the two of us, because we're the only ones who get to go to the hospital, but it's not just the two of us going through it. It is the boys dealing with their sister, waiting for their sister to come home. Earlier it was them concerned for their mother who was in the hospital.
Yeah.
You got grandma and granddad on both sides. You got uncles and aunties that are all praying and waiting for this to be something that we could kind of celebrate and welcoming Sophia into the world without any of that trepidation and fear, and only joy really. So yeah, I know that we are bearing the brunt of the burden, but a lot of the people who are around us are not just there to support us, but they are actually dealing with it too. And it's been something that I will say the boys have handled well, or handled better than I imagined, I should say.
Yeah. I can tell that it's taken a toll on them, just by the way that they behave and that kind of thing. But I think they are doing so much better now that I am at home, and just the time that has passed and the way that we try to explain it to them, and even try to make sure we spend time with them when we can, and not just they're just always gone, so that we can deal with our system. So,
which is one of the reasons why they're with us today.
yeah. So we're gonna go to the beach today after the hospital.
Yeah.
They will get my phone, watch whatever they want to watch, or play whatever games they want to do while they're in the waiting room. I think they like that.
Yeah.
And then, so that's 2 hours of them sitting, and they've done it maybe twice before.
Yeah.
Twice in the 6 weeks, and they've done well. We get something to eat, and then we go to the beach as a whole family. So that should be nice. You know, I don't know about you. I've not had any, what do you call it? No, any questions of my faith. Like, I haven't thought that God was doing anything wrong. I haven't had any, in terms of faith, I haven't had any shakings in that sense. It felt like God was with me through it. I didn't start saying, oh, maybe God doesn't love me, he doesn't care for me. Why? You know, I wondered why the things were happening.
Yeah.
But it wasn't why is God doing it to me. It was just like, wait, what's happening? Why? You know, I don't know how to explain that why. It was a different why.
You say you don't know about me. I guess I can tell you about me. I did battle with my confidence in everything holding together. I mean, I don't think it was a situation where I thought, you know, something negative about, I don't know how to make sense of that. I had real struggles with doubt. Like, I just lost confidence that this thing was going to hold together. Like, I really had times where I felt my wife can die, my daughter can die, and my life can be in shambles. I definitely did feel that a lot early up. That was terrifying. I didn't know how to deal with those things. I didn't know what that would mean. Like, how am I going to parent my 2 sons through that kind of loss and suffering? What is it going to produce in me? Like, those are kind of things that I was terrified of. But yeah, I've seen God just kind of hold me together in the midst of that. I think there was grace to cover those times where my faith was weak, in the sense that I feel like God was still committed to being my God, even though I was having difficulty trusting in those times. That's really been the reason why I at the place where I'm at now, I think. And then also the way that he brought other people around to kind of support me and kind of confirm that yes, you know, like I would not be able to hold all of this together, me personally, but God is able to bring the people and the help and the things that I need right when I need them. And that was a good reminder. That was one of the things that really helped to encourage me during this time. Yeah.
All right, so we are almost at the hospital, so
Yep.
I'm gonna sign out for a bit.
Thanks again to everybody who's been praying and supporting us. And yeah, maybe one day you will meet the precious gift that is Sophias Hold.
Bye. Bye.
Say hi, everybody. Just a little sleepy today, but I'm definitely still saying hi to everybody. Yeah, look at that. Hi, yeah. Mario, what are you doing?